So I just want to go over a couple questions here. So let's start with this one. So your patient has been diagnosed with hypothyroidism. What would you expect to see? All right, so their thyroid is not functioning. Hypertension, tremor, fine, thin hair, cold intolerance, fatigue, weight gain, hypoglycemia, anxiety, weight loss. D, truncal obesity, hyperglycemia, and hypertension. Okay, so I know if the thyroid is not functioning, it's responsible for multiple areas in your body of metabolism. Cold intolerance, fatigue, and weight gain is the answer. So if I look at the other answers and figure out why it's not, if I see hypertension, no, that's not a hypothyroidism. A tremor, no, I'm thinking that's more hyper, fine thin hair, hyper. C, hypoglycemia. I suppose you could have hypoglycemia in that, but let's see, anxiety, usually not with hypothyroidism, so that's a no. And then weight loss, that's not true either, so that would X out the C. And then D, truncal obesity, I'm thinking they have because remember what your cortisol is responsible for. So hyperglycemia, hypertension, this one's more of a Cushing's syndrome. So the answer is B. In a patient receiving long-term high doses of hydrocortisone treatment, what might you expect to see? Hyperglycemia and truncal obesity, hypertension, low potassium, hirsutism and menstrual irregularity, or hypoglycemia and weight loss. So I'm thinking here, if this patient's having too much, probably having too much hydrocortisone in the body, the answer is A, hyperglycemia and truncal obesity. Hypertension, usually that can be a symptom for sure, but not low potassium. So that is not. Hirsutism, so hair growth. They can have some hair growth. Usually we see that with PCOS and your other hormones. And menstrual irregularity, that's when you're having an issue with your follicle stimulating hormone or luteinizing hormone. And then hypoglycemia and weight loss, that would be more to me of an Addison's disease issue. So I'm going with this because I'm suspecting that there's a Cushing's disease with this patient. Okay, so that wraps it up. This is not meaning to sound like an advertisement, but if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's under Jenny L. Peters, and I have multiple videos on hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, adrenal gland disorders. You just have to kind of scroll through them. They're not necessarily just pathophysiology, but it does really give you a good overview of what that is. So you have to scroll down, and usually I have everything pretty much in topics if you're interested. All right, and you take care.